Hello there. You're on this page because you're a pool builder. I'm also a pool builder. I work in San Jose, California, and we have a very nice pool building company. You want to check it out, you can always go to our website, which is bayscenery.com. And at bayscenery.com, you will see that we have a number of different businesses, one of which is building a swimming pool. So the area that we emphasize on is that as we were building these swimming pools, we come across a lot of different requests from prospects, not clients, prospects. Can you come take a look at my project and see if it's I can have a pool? What kind of pool can I afford to have? Can it be a fiberglass? Can it be a custom granite? All of those questions will come up. And it is fine. It's good business. As a pool builder, we were looking at it and saying, you know what? We go to each of these sites. If you have been in the Bay Area, you know it's a very large area. Driving from one place to the other could take 45 minutes to an hour one way. And we started to look for an application. We started to look for an application saying that maybe there is an application that can help us not having to do all this travel. There are some out there. You know it already, and I'm not going to name them. But this application is mostly designed to pull things together that the pool builder already knows, right? So some of them have ways to put a proposal out. If you're a pool builder like me, we can put a proposal out in 2 minutes once you know everything about the site. Some of them are highly graphic designs and things like that. We all know when our customers come to us, they know what a pool look like, right? They have been to the neighbor's yard or a family's house and they have seen pools. That's not what they're calling us to see a pool on the property. They're calling us to find out, can I have one? And how much is it going to cost? Now, can I have one has a lot to do with the site, but how much it's going to cost has to do with you and I, right? My cost is different than yours. My overhead is different than yours. So there is no one system can price it out. That's why we have estimators, right? That's why we go out there. So we put all those silly apps aside. We said, you know what? Paying thousands of dollars per year for a system that just does very little is not worth our time. So we actually developed these applications for our own use. We use it every day and been very successful, with it. And we say, you know what, if it works for us, it should also work for you as a pool builder. That's why we're here. So consider this application being designed by a pool builder for a pool builder. Now, you'll find out more about us at bayscenery.com. We also a general contractor and we also landscape contractor. So we designed the app to work for all of our businesses, and it turned out to be a pretty nice app. Now, it's solid. It works in an unbelievable manner. It has a lot of artificial intelligence built into it. We invested into it for over 1 year. We patented it and invested into it for over 1 year. Now you can use it for free because what we want is for you to use it. Give us the feedback. If it worked for me, then it should work for you. But maybe there's something different that you want to see. So do use it, access it for free, and then come back to us and say, can we do this other thing? It will work better for my business. We'll build it in. So that's the promise that I have for you that for the next few months, as this application is free for everyone to use, we are going to customize it to everyone's need because ultimately we want to have a product that everyone can use in the pool building business. So without saying further, let's do a talk about it. So the product is called InQI. Does it stand for anything? No, it does not. It's an ink, like ink in a plan, ink in a contract, right? We came up with a name called InQI. We design it so that it basically works the way you want to work. Now, in our world, what is the critical part of every client as soon as we pick up the phone and talk to them? We say, what's your address, right? That's our world. This is a critical part of the work that we work with to try to get everything done for our clients. That's critical. So let's go and sign in. So really you go to the website, you sign in with either Google account or you can use an email account. So as you sign in with a Google account, you're presented with a process that enables you to define a project for the users to see. So let's take a look and see what it is that's going to look like. Now I'm going to define a project. This is actually one of prospects that called us this past week. And they wanted to know if they can have a pool, right? And looking at the project, we answer the questions. But let's go walk through it. And then, jump in, use the system like you see it here, and then let's make sure that it solves your problems, it has solved ours. So everything here on a new project starts with an address. So we're going to go type in an address. Now it works anywhere in the United States, right? It doesn't work anywhere else in any other country. So as you go in and pick up the address and type it in, it will bring it up and say, is this the address? Yes, create a new project. So it's going to go ahead and start collecting all of the information. Now, critical part of this was, over a year in development, we tried to find every piece of data that the city and the county has for this location around the country, in this case in Saratoga, California. And if you walk in to City of Saratoga, California today and ask them, this is the building, this is the property that I want to build on, what do you know about it? They're going to show you something like this. There's a lot more data here than they have. And let me explain you why. So you're looking at the screen, and this screen, you can see that there are different kind of resolution pictures, right? What's behind it is Google Maps. Everybody uses that. Google Maps is several years old as the satellites go around. And then they are from very high up, so the quality is not good at all. So what you're looking at in this section, in the highlighted section, is an aerial picture with aircraft. In some places like our area, in the Bay Area, we do 3 to 4 times a year updates. And this gives you an advantage over everybody else that is out there. Let's take a look. So this image is from the September of this year, and we have all of these records here, right? All of these different images that we can go to. That's one of the areas. But let's take a look and develop a quick product, quick swimming pool for this client. So you can turn this off and do it for yourself, right? Our YouTube channel has a lot of different smaller sessions on how this can do. This can design your landscaping, this can design an ADU, this can design a swimming pool, this can do a lot of things, but make sure that you go through it, right? And feedback, give us a lot of feedback, right? Talking about feedback, where do you give a feedback? The feedback is send us a ticket, right? That's the feedback. Now, a few things. This property is basically owned by this person. We have all of the information. It's an R1 zone. We have all of the information that the city of San Jose and the locality of Saratoga and the county of Santa Clara has on this property, right? No longer have to worry about, going around and finding what that is. If you look at these little topography lines, we have now all of the topographies, right? I just turned it into a different view so you can see it. All these topographies are extremely important when you're building a pool. The cost and cut and fill is one of those things that catches us most of the time, right? Now, what else do we have? We have property lines. Now, property lines come from what the city or the county knows. Now, we are giving the tool to you so that you can make adjustments without having to go to the site. And what I mean by that is this. If I zoom in here, I can see that there is an edge of a fence here. So I click once, and I make some adjustments. Simple as that. I'll click Save. And basically now, if I zoom back out, you'll see. Now I have made some corrections. Let's take a look at the bottom here. So on the bottom here, I can see that there is also more room here. This is part of the fence. So I click once, I click twice, and this time I just adjust this section, and I adjust this section. Now, we all know that nothing is I guess as official as a property survey. I don't know which part of the country you're in, but where we're at in Northern California, the property survey for this one, and it will cost somewhere between $6,000 to $8,000, and it would take over a month, month and a half to get. Now, all this client asks is, can I have a pool, right? Majority of the time, for the pool permits, we don't need an official survey, right? And we can just take a site plan to the city and get it. But we need to kind of develop it. Sometimes they ask questions, what's going to be around it? Is it going to be, patio around it and all that stuff? So let's go through that and design that. Now, spend a few minutes just going through this, and I guarantee you by the end of this, you'll be surprised how this tool can help you sell more pools. That's one of the critical part of this, right? Now, I go to this thing, and this thing is called layers. I'll go enable the layers, and I'm going to enable the pool. You can design home and ADUs. I'm going to also do some sketch and illustration as well, just let you know how it's all going to work out. I'm going to enable planting as well, right? So whenever we work on a pool, we destroy everything around there, right? We got to get the excavators in and, take the stuff out. So usually the client is like, so what do I do after? Now, most of the pool builders say, well, I do my pool, you got to go figure out a landscape designer or some contractor and build it yourself. We do the same almost, but I want to give this client a little bit of more view, what it's going to look like, what's going to cost, and then, give them something that they can work with another builder if they want to, right? The swimming pool business, if I get the swimming pool, it's mine, but as I mentioned earlier, we have like 3 different divisions. I have a landscape construction division, and I have a general contracting division. We do it all. But at the same time, some of our clients say, you do the pool, I know Joe who does a good landscape contracting, he will do the landscaping. That's not a problem. So let's go ahead and design this. The first thing is what we want to do is we want to put the pool. Obviously, you and I are the builders, right? So we know it can't be in the front. We know it has to be out of the setback. So what you're looking at, the red dots, those are the 5-foot setback. Now, how do I know it's 5 foot? Because it's configurable. It is 5 foot here, right? I can put custom setbacks too. In some areas in where I work, there are setbacks from the sides, like in Los Altos Hills, there's like 20 feet or 25 feet. I can go define those, but in this case, it's not, right? Now, I will go in and most of the time, we want to show the client what the pool going to look like, where it could be, and they get a feel for it. Now, this is an easy project or easy property. The backyard hasn't been touched, so we can do some work there, right? So let's talk about the pool. So I'm going to go draw a pool and pool rectangle. A rectangle is popular in an area. You can do, custom design. Now I'm going to draw a pool here. Now this is where the magic happens. We work a lot with a great fiberglass pool company called Leisure Pools. And this is just a couple of the pools, right? If I select any of these pools, because we have all the information about it, the information about how it's going to be placed, what is it going to look like, any kind of marketing stuff related to it, also some of the drawings and stuff goes in. But I can also design my own pool, right? Designing my own pool could be a gunite pool, right? That I know, and we got to get a soil engineering report. We got to go to a structural engineer. There's a whole bunch of stuff that happens, but still, you can use the plan that you're going to generate here to go to the planning department and get things started. And have in mind, everything we do here can be exported out as an AutoCAD file, right? So I'm going to use one of the fiberglass pools here. I'm going to use this one. It's going to go pop in, and notice that it resized it because it knows that one was a Leisure Pool Ultimate 30. Now we can do some creative work, and I'm no designer, but we kind of, being in the business of building, we kind of knew that things got to get aligned, so we aligned this to here. It looks like they had a little curvy, hardscape here, but I think I'm going to propose to them to align things up. Build a little, nicer area with pavers and stuff, and go from there. Now, a couple of things on the pool. Look, we got a green check mark. Green check mark means that we are not violating any setbacks, right? You're not you're not creating any problem. If you were in the setbacks and things like that, it could have been problematic. But we got a green check mark. Now, also when you click on it, check this out. I know exactly my cut and fill, 2,341 cubic feet. Now, this is the value because I have every detail about the site plan to put that in. Now, I can ask the client to come in on the Zoom call and do this, right? I just do this with them. Do you want it over there? What are you thinking and so forth, right? But, let's go through it. So this is a tool to prevent you from having to drive to the site every time you get a phone call and being able to do a lot of business. And once the client sees it and wants it and qualifies, there's no question you got to be to the site, right? But this will help you to double or triple your business as it has done for us. Now, the next thing is I said, that's your pool, Mr. Client or Mrs. Client. And it says, all right, what else can I do here? The question comes up, what happens around it, landscaping and stuff. No problem. So I'm going to sketch something for you, Mr. Client. And we can build it for you. We can get it to a designer. Designers can do a lot of work for you. We can do all that, but let's just figure it out. Figure it out together. So first, we're going to talk about creating a little hydro zone area. If it's an area for planting. So usually, most of our pools we do a section, and it looks like this house has a little bit of it. We do a section which is basically, and you can notice that things are lining up as I draw them. We do a section of planting areas where we try to make sure that there is screen areas like laurels and things like that. So we mark that out. And so this is like a little planting area. It has logic built into it. If you're in landscaping, you understand what is a hydro zone and so forth, but we're not going to go there. Now I'm going to go for this client. Also, we have planting enabled, this integrated with 10,000 different plants. So I go in and I'll use either on the line or single. I just use it online for this purpose. I will say this line going to have this kind. It's going to plant for me, so it shows the plants. I can choose a different plant for this one, and it will go down here. I will do that one, and for consistency, I'll just use this one as well, and this one going to be the same, and I'll put that one as well. So now I have two sets of planting, highlighted in here. You see on the plan what's going to look like. Now, let's go talk about what else can I do here. Well, usually, it doesn't have to be, but usually there is some hardscape before you jump into the pool, and there is some greenery. It could be artificial turf, or it could be a regular turf and stuff. Let's go design that for the client as well. But before we do that, let's go and make sure on our sketch, we also enable label an area, right? We just want to make sure that we kind of know all the square footages. So we go to sketching. Right? Now, have in mind, it's as simple as I'm doing it here. If I can do it, you can do it. There's no question about it. So I'll go in here, I'll say, you know what, I'm going to align with the house here, and I'm going to do like one section here that is pavers, and align with this side. It's just because people usually walk back here and then walk down there. So we do one line here, and we go back down to this side. We go here, we go here, and we go here. And say, something like this could work, and, have some things I can do here. I go to paving, and I say this one is going to be a paver, and I mark it as pavers. So Mr. Klein, you're going to have 843 square foot of pavers. And we're going to design around it a little bit as well. So let's do that as well. So I'm going to go in here and go a little bit further out, let it out, let it out. I'm going to make that also a paver. So we check that and make that a paver. And we call this also pavers. So there's 225. There's also a way to draw all around it, but I'm going to do section. So in this scenario, we're going to do that. So we're going to do that. And this one I will basically draw around it, right? So I'll come here. I will basically go around here. Now, some of you guys are going to say, he doesn't know how to design. You're absolutely correct. I'm not a designer. But, you get an idea of what we're trying to do here. Oh, actually, this is not bad. I'm going to say this side could be a deck, some different tones. Like I said, I'm not a designer, but, I play one on TV. How about that? You're old enough, you know what that means. Let's go to decking. Let's change the tone a little bit so we can show us a deck. Now, what's going to happen in this other area? Now, we can mulch it. It's pretty popular these days, right? Not having, you can put, turf or something. Let's go mulch this area. And let's go also mark this one to be deck. So there's a deck on that side. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to define this area here. And, if you zoom in, you can see better. I'm just kind of defining this. Now this is going to come up and it's going to say, what do you want? And let's go to decorative stuff. Actually, this stuff here. Let's do rocks. Right? We have some rocks and stuff put in there. Now, I'm going to save it. So what did I just do in, I don't know, a few minutes? On my client's property, the picture that was about a month old in this case, I designed her pool, I designed a deck, I designed, pavers. I now have all of the square footages of things, right? Now I can go to the client and say, this is what's going to look like, right? This is the kind of things you're looking at. On a Google paver prices, and you find out what's going to cost to be, things like that. You also want to make sure, and let me just notice that I need to update this one, and I'll call it stones. Now, the client is like, this is nice. How is it going to work for me as far as is it going to be sunny? Well, this one looks sunny, but you know what? Let's just talk to the client a little bit more. Let's say they're on a Zoom call. We can create a 3D model immediately for the client, right? So we are looking at a 3D model. Whatever you put on the screen becomes available on a 3D model. The major components of it, you can see the plants, you can see the areas and so forth. In the case of a swimming pool, what's important to the client is to make sure that there is enough sun, on it, and you can see there is topography in there, right? So this is real data. This is not just graphic stuff that we put in. Now, from this angle, we have all the measurements and all that stuff. Oh, there was a little, you can see there's a bump up here, right? So all this is the real information, real topography. I can go in here and I can do a sun simulation, and we are in fall. And basically this is 12 p.m. So this is what's going to look like. So it's got plenty of sun, it comes out, sun comes out, sun comes out. And all the way about right there, about 3:20, he's going to start getting some shade because of his house, right? And then around 4:30 or so, he's all shade. That's, I can move it to this location and get a little bit more. I can move it back, but this is fall. I can also do summer. Summer probably is more of a thing, and we can see, we got a little graphic thing going on, and things are wiggling, right? So 6 o'clock, 4 p.m. Yeah, it looks like still around 5. Yeah, but based on even if I put it here, push it all the way in this corner, I still have at 5:30. I save about an hour, right? Is it worth an hour saving on the sun? Not really. This corner here has more, and that is just about an hour too. So it doesn't make any sense. But most of the day, during the midday and stuff, it looks pretty good, right? Now, what is this important? So I designed a pool, a leisure pool, Ultimate 30 on this property. I put some numbers in here, right? Now I can go in and basically what you have is on the exports, right? Now you can go in and brand this for yourself, right? Brand it for your pool company. Right? And this is not my building company, is a company, startup that is doing software here. Brand it for your pool company. You can do high resolution if you want to. And you can say include branding and permits. Permits, what is that? Oh, now, one of the things that we all suffer, right? As soon as we get the yes, we got to go draft stuff and all that. But I want to check that. I'll show you what it's going to look like. I go to here, a couple of critical points here. I can generate a PDF, but I can also generate a CAD file. So if I need to give this to a designer or to an architect, it's to scale, some idea, this is an idea, and they can go with it, right? There's a bunch of other reports I can do. You can also check it out when you log in yourself. I do the PDF, and I'm also going to ask for a screenshot because I want to show you both, right? So I want to request it. Now, while I'm talking, keep a look on this. So it's going to be maybe a minute or two, but have in mind, this works anywhere in the United States. We developed it because we are builders. We just didn't sit around and say, oh, let me come up with a software. A lot of these software companies, they're just developing software because they see a market. No, we developed it for our own use as a builder, and we saw the value, so now we bring it out to all of the other builders who are out there. Once you generate this plan, you can take this plan to the city. Obviously, first you're going to take it to your client, and pretty much it's done. In about a minute and a half that I was talking, it was done. But as I was saying, you take it to your client, you show the client what it's going to look like. Now, like I said at the beginning, none of the silly apps that says, click a button and generate a proposal. You and I know if there is anything wrong in our proposal and we sign on it, we are bound by it, right? No, I want to make sure that I do my proposal, but I have all the data that I have for it. I have my own letterhead, I have my own proposal, so I don't have spreadsheets and stuff, right? That's not a time-consuming thing. This is time-consuming. Now, let's take a look at it and see what we have. First, take a look at the PDF. So click on download it. Now, remember, this could have been an AutoCAD file, right? But I have a PDF here. Let's take a look at the PDF. In the PDF, you'll notice that we have the design. I can take this to the local planning department and they will basically look at it, and it's to the scale. It has all the plat lists. It has all the information, and there is to the scale. It has all the information for me to have a discussion and start the permit process. Because I chose a leisure pool one, I have all of the information about the leisure pool one that we selected, some marketing stuff. But we also have all of the records that we need to try to go and directly to the building department and pull our permit, right? This is a critical part of this. We don't want to delay things. We want to sign that contract right then and there. Which pool company can do this? No one can do this. You go in, sign a contract, you go in and come back, discuss things a few weeks later and discuss things back and forth. This is done in a matter of a few minutes that you've been watching this. Now, yeah, I'm good at it. I draw stuff out. I'm not a good designer, you saw that. But it is easy to work, right? Now, I want to show you one more thing. And then we're going to have some closing comments. Hopefully you click on the button on that side and sign up and start using it yourself. Give us feedback, don't forget. You notice that I also asked for this screenshot, right? This is one of the things that we wanted in because it helps us sell, right? That's basically what it is. Let's take a look at it. What that is, it is a plan, site plan, but that picture that the aircraft took about a month ago is overlaid here, right? Now, I have this now. I can go to the customer and say, this is what it's going to look like. This is how it's going to be. Plus, I have all of the information in here. Now, we can load any information you want into the marketing things, right? And we're going to try to make it so you can do it yourself. But right now, you can send me and say, we are an ABC pool company. Can you put our stuff in there? Yes, we can. A lot of it you can do yourself. There is a place you can put your logo and stuff. You don't need us. So let's go back to where we started. You can log into this by simply clicking on this area here, right? Signing a login is absolutely free. We don't ask a credit card. We don't ask nothing. Absolutely free. All we ask as a fellow pool builder is give us feedback, please. Some things might not work. Some things that work differently, you might want to change. You might have ideas that will help the rest of us in the pool building business. So take a look, use it, and let us know. We love to make a product that is designed by us, for us, and help us sell a whole lot more. Thank you for your time.